It's a bit of a mess out there right now, isn't it? With peaceful protests, raucous riots, and violence, you can barely go out for a carton of eggs without being reminded of the anger some people are feeling. It's a biggie, and certainly one that will go down in the annals of history as that time everyone completely forgot about COVID and gathered en masse to shout at statues. But as with every event in human history, where would we be without the pantheon of professional performers preaching to the people about how folks should flagellate themselves for the foreseeable future and be held responsible for the reprehensible racism of not-so-recent times in an attempt to placate a portion of the population and their perceived persecution at the pleasure of the police. Or as we common characters call it, virtue signalling their rich little hearts out.
I take responsibility.
Okay, that's great, Sarah Paulson, but bear in mind if it weren't for Google, I'd be calling you that woman from that film, you know, the one where stuff happened. Bit of a boring face made only more so by those billboard-sized glasses. When did they come back in fashion, by the way? I feel we need to protest against that at some point too. Still, good job at looking all serious while you're quite clearly reading from a script being held below the camera. You must be some actress when you can't even memorize 3 words.
I take responsibility.
Oh, hey, it's Aaron Paul of Breaking Bad, BoJack Horseman, and Westworld, the worst season. So hot right now. He is a top actor, though. Look at that face. You almost believe him, don't you? Even when he started the scene off by smelling his own fingers. Very impressive. Very method.
I take responsibility.
You know, I might be the only person on this definitely round planet who knows who you are, American gymnast Ali Raisman, and that's only because I made a fair bit of effort to find out. When you're only renowned for being supremely bendy, you must have some agent to have got in on this video.
I take responsibility.
Maybe you should take responsibility for not being known for anything more than being in Coyote Ugly and Cheaper by the Dozen, Piper. Though, to be fair, you were in the excellent movie The Prestige, but that film only really got good once your character died, so make of that what you will.
For every unchecked moment.
But what does that mean? How can you do that when the moment itself went unchecked? Think it through.
For every time it was easier to ignore than to call it out for what it was.
Ah, the beautiful Kristen Bell. It's only in screenshots like this that you realise she looks like she chowed down on a peanut bar before she remembered she's allergic. But at least she has her hand on her heart while she's saying this. It's the only sure way to know someone's being genuine, you know? Either that or they're having a cardiac event.
Every not-so-funny joke.
Well, coming from the guy who was in The Spy Who Dumped Me, that is a big responsibility to take, Justin. You've definitely got some crimes to answer for there. Justin!
Every unfair stereotype.
Doesn't that imply there are fair stereotypes? Where's the line? Oh wait, let me guess. It's around the white people area, isn't it? Because anything about any other race is offensive, but when it comes to old whitey, it's just a joke, bro. Which I do take exception to, because call it cultural appropriation, but I season my fucking chicken.
Every blatant injustice, no matter how big or small.
Here's the thing, Grace from Will and Grace. If it's a small injustice, then it's not all that blatant, is it? And here's another thing. No amount of makeup will help you escape the ravages of time, so maybe ease up in that department. You're starting to look like Beetlejuice. And upon making this video, I was actually very surprised to read that the show Will and Grace, unlike the blood flow to this woman's face, is still running. So, at least I learned something from all this.
Every time I remained silent.
And why couldn't now be one of those times, Mark? Or even between the years of 2012 and 2017 when you were in the Mindy Project?
Every time I explained away police brutality.
When has anyone ever done that? Who has strolled past a cop beating 7 shades of long stringy shit out of someone in handcuffs and gone, ah, they're just doing their job? That's just, no one has explained away police brutality. That's how we got the words police brutality. Unless you're admitting to it right now, Bryce Dallas Howard. Jeez, you're getting 1 episode of Black Mirror and all of a sudden you're all in favour of living in a dystopia. And at what point did you look at the script and think, no, this isn't pretentious enough. I need to wear a turtleneck? Bryce!
Or turned a blind eye.
That is a very ableist term.
I take responsibility.
Oh no! Julianne Moore! No! Not you as well! The one ginger I actually like besides Faye Reagan. What a shame. This year is the worst.
Black people are being slaughtered in the streets, killed in their own homes.
I mean, if you're just naming places, then you forgot hills, mountains, fields, plateaus. There's a wealth of geographical features you could have used. Don't be lazy.
These are our brothers and sisters.
Whoa, whoa, Julianne, only black people can refer to each other as brothers and sisters. Back off. And what if some of them are non-binary? Wait, what do you call a non-binary sibling? It can't be brother or sister, can it? Huh, that is a thinker.
Our friends. Our family.
Ah, yes, the I have black friends argument. It works both ways, you know. And I have no clue who you are, so I'm gonna call you generic blonde actress. If you want me to know your actual name, then be less generic. Get a face tattoo or something, anything.
We are done watching them die.
You've been watching them die? Good God, woman, dial 911 or something. What's wrong with you?
We are no longer bystanders.
Okay, generic blonde actress, tell me, what are you going to do? Oh, wait, it's this video, isn't it? This is your contribution. So now, when a murderer's there with his gun saying, oh, I just love racism, he'll think of this video and everything'll change for him. All because you sat down with a camera and didn't bother to memorize your lines. Amazing, well done.
We will not be idle. Enough is enough.
You hear that, guys? Enough is enough. If only someone thought to say that earlier. A lot of lives could have been saved, you know? Such a simple solution, too. We really messed up there.
I will no longer allow an unchecked moment.
I've got to call bullshit on that one, Stanley, and it's not because you closely resemble a skinhead. It's because I can clearly see your eyes moving from left to right as you read the script. Maybe try it again, yeah? Once more with feeling, old chap.
I will no longer allow racist, hurtful words, jokes, stereotypes.
And what are you going to do to stop it, Stan? Because I don't think 3 years of jazz and 2 years of tap are gonna cut it in this particular dance fight. And do you, Sarah Paulson and Edna Mode all get dressed by the same person or something?
No matter how big or small, to be uttered in my presence.
Oh, of course, your blessed presence. No one who has ever told a slightly off-key joke is allowed this man's autograph. That'll show you. You see, his presence is a key factor in all this because some people are just so damn famous that they can stop racism by simply leaving the room.
I will not turn a blind eye.
No, with those glasses, I'm sure you can see all the moons of Saturn. Oh, for Sarah!
Going for a jog should not be a death sentence. Sleeping in your own home should not be a death sentence.
This is very true, Sarah Paulson. So why didn't you guys make this abomination of a video after those deaths? Why did you wait until there was international uproar about a different death? I mean, we all know why, don't we? This might as well be the DVD of the live-action version of Cats, because no one is buying it.
Playing video games with your nephew should not be a death sentence.
Shopping in a store should not be a death sentence.
Yes, we get it. Things should not be a death sentence. What you're saying isn't exactly novel, is it? You are fully aware this isn't some brand new line of thinking, Mark. The saddest thing is you think change will come about because you said it. Either that or you feel as though the public is getting a bit antsy because you've been out of work for a while and we just need to see your face. Take your pick. They're both equally embarrassing for you. Oh, will you stop abusing the dramatic pause? That's the real victim here.
Business as usual should not be life-threatening.
And Jar Jar Binks should not have been made a senator. What's your point? Mark, for fuck's sake.
I stand against hate.
Okay, great. That'll do it.
I stand against hate.
You as well, huh? All right then.
I stand against hate.
Oh, you're just copying each other now.
I stand against hate.
Nah, I'm not really feeling it from you, hun. You're not enunciating like the rest of them.
I will stand against hate in love.
Ooh, that one was slightly different. She's a bold one, isn't she, going off script like that?
I will make my presence known.
Again with the presence. Lady, I couldn't pick you out from a lineup of white blonde women. The only effect your presence has is making the room around 27% dumber.
And killer cops must be prosecuted. They are murderers.
Look at that! Aaron Paul is doing all of his actings in this bit. I mean, he does look like he came fresh off the set of American History X, but still, acting!
We can turn the tide. It is time to take responsibility.
But Aaron, I didn't do any of this. If you want me to take responsibility for it for the sole reason of the colour of my skin, then why stop there? Let's hold a bunch of Japanese 20-year-olds accountable for Pearl Harbor. And I demand an apology from Norway for all the pillaging the Vikings did. And Nintendo should be held responsible for No Man's Sky being so shit. They didn't make it, but they still make games, don't they?
Call out hate. Step up. And take action.
Yeah, take action. That's not wildly unspecific, but we have a website. Let's just give that a goosey gander. Here we go. Before you can see the actual website, you have to take responsibility for either turning a blind eye to racism. They're really pushing that phrase, aren't they? Making racist jokes, mind you, not statements. Jokes. Explaining away police brutality, no one does that. Saying racism doesn't exist, I'm yet to hear that in my lifetime. Explaining away systemic racism, look, maybe if someone could explain what systems are in place to stop black people from gaining certain opportunities, it would make sense. Denying white privilege exists, oh, hello old friend. Not educating yourself on racism, well, that sounds like a nice Friday night in, doesn't it? Your own implicit bias against black people, surprised it doesn't say people of colour there. Saying I don't see colour, that's a bit ableist to the colourblind, but okay. Not listening to black people, I guess they mean rap. Not being inclusive, from the website that implies racism only happens to black people. Not educating your kids on systemic racism, so infertile people are just automatic bastards on that one. And valuing black culture more than black lives. Again, I think they mean rap. So, needless to say, that's where my research on that website ends. Still, it's nice to know there's a bunch of white faces sat in the opulent palaces of splendor patting themselves on the back for being so woke. If only the rest of us had the ability to change the world in a single vertically filmed video. Thanks for watching, guys. Please consider becoming a patron because I'm not rich enough to take responsibility. And check out my brand spanking new Twitch channel where I play games and talk utter cod shit for hours on end. The links are in the description, and remember, there was absolutely no diversity in that video.